Hi, my name is Wilman Ziada, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to introduce to you an acclaimed singer-songwriter, artist, the incredible JAZMIN AKEA. For more on the amazing JAZMIN, you can read more about her right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the amazing talent of the one and only JAZMIN AKEA.
You fill me up, I fill my cup. Rosé, Chardonnay, that's enough. Got the crown on my head like a boss. Don't worry about the rules or the cost. Ay, you buy the bottle, I buy the bar. Don't need a light, cause I'm shining like a star. Yeah, they follow us wherever we are. Paparazzi on time, watch the clock, ayy. I can tell by your eyes that you're feeling me. Watch me swerve in my ride like an OG. No, we serious, don't ask no questions. If your boys wanna know, then you tell them. We got the gold, we got the gold, we got the gold, ooh, we got the gold. See us glistening like, ooh, ah, hello. I'll be like Cardi B and that Bodak yellow. We got the gold, we got the gold, we got the gold, ooh, we got the gold. See us glistening like, ooh, ah, hello. I'll be like Cardi B and that Bodak yellow.
Well, hello, JAZMIN. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And I'm so excited that the audience got a sneak peek of your amazing talent with We Got the Gold, shot in Italy pre-COVID. Talk to me about that experience.
Yeah, it was actually an amazing experience. I recorded We Got the Gold with a producer here in Los Angeles and with an engineer that lives in Hollywood as well. And whenever I was done, recording the whole song, I just got this visual because the song is based on the premise of like being a boss. I know there's a part in the song where it's you buy the bottle, I buy the bar. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna be this boss chick, I have to create a visual that represents that ties into the lyrics, it makes sense. So I was like, well, where can we shoot this to where there's it has a royal feel to it. You feel elegant, that you feel like there's money in the room or in the air. And I said, the first thing I think is Rome, Italy.
That opulence, you hit the nail on the head. And JAZMIN AKEA, if there was ever a hashtag boss lady, it's you. And I want to know where you get this unapologetic strength from. Is it your family? Were you always like this as a little girl?
Good question. I'm very spiritual. So I think in a past life, I was definitely like a queen, or maybe many past lives I was a queen, because I go about my day in a sense of like, how can I just continue to expand upon this energy? And it didn't really come, I had a mother who was very determined, who would tell me, focus on this, focus on that. But there's something else within me that I feel like just always wants to grow into this like queen boss type of person, this queen boss type energy. So I feel like it comes from the inside out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're releasing it really well with your freaking talents. Thank you. Come on now. I'm astounded at, for as young as you are, how unapologetic and authentic you are. You are obviously a human and an artist that has and continues to do the work. I'm curious to know where that curiosity comes from.
Oh, good question. I think I like to explore different themes and different aspects of myself. So, there's the JAZMIN that's like the sweet, kind of humble version of me, which sometimes I lean into that energy a little bit. But when I do songwriting and when I'm trying to tell a story, I really like to play on those bolder elements, those bolder aspects of myself, where, like you said, I'm not apologizing. I'm a little bit more outspoken. I'm like my alter ego steps in, and it's like, don't be shy, don't apologize, don't make yourself smaller, make yourself as grandiose and as big as you can, because that's what artists are supposed to do. We're supposed to elevate other people. And so we're supposed to have people in the mindset of, if I can do it, you can do it, but you have to get to these steps to get to where I'm at, because you have to become bigger than yourself.
Almost so you got the young JAZMINs out there looking at you, who can now have a North Star of what it is to take up space unapologetically with a sense of power, but also like, you have an it factor about you. But I think in addition to your talent, there's a sense of gratitude about you. And that's what I mean when I say, like, you've obviously done the work.
Yes.
What is that about for you?
Thank you. First of all, thank you for saying that. It means a lot. And I'm glad that you can recognize that as well. And I think that what it's boiled down to for me and the younger Jasmine that come after me, I think it's boiled down to a lot of meditation, a lot of like deep soul work, looking at my fears, journaling my fears, you know, and then trying to process my fears and understand that it's okay to be scared, because the fear is a roadmap to, like, once you get past that, there's another aspect of you that's bigger that you're expanding into. So fear is always propelling us to become bigger. So I work with my fears. I work with, you know, if I'm going on stage to perform in front of 500 people, I'm working through everyone gets nervous. I don't care if you're, you know, the biggest star in the world. I've heard of the biggest stars that get nervous still when they perform. So that's just a normal aspect of being exposed and being vulnerable. But what I think artists have to remember is that you're stripped down when you're in front of people, and you have to do a lot of inner work to be okay with that sense of vulnerability. So otherwise you'll just stay, you know, small and just want to stay in the house.
Exactly. And you know, God bless, it's some people's journeys, but for someone like you whose light is incredibly bright, but also
Thank you.
taking the path that no one's ever taken. Yes, it's harder, but again, so worth it in the end. And my final question for you, Jasmine, is that idea of the Jasmines, the young Jasmines looking up to you. This has obviously been a time more than ever, I think, 18 months of introspection. We've all been forced to kind of look within.
Yes.
If you could give a piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Oh, good question. A piece of advice to my younger self would be to not listen to other people's negative projections, because they don't matter. And I'll give an example. Before I moved to LA, I used to tell people, like, I used to live in Chicago and I was in a corporate position. I wasn't really doing much with music because of my fear and everything. And I just started having a lot of vivid dreams that I was actually working with Beyonce and Beyonce's mom. And I was just like, where is this coming from? This is some deep inner stuff that's coming forward. And I would tell some of the people I knew, like, I'm gonna be moving to LA, I'm gonna do music, I'm gonna do this and that. And of course there was a lot of, Jasmine, like, how are you gonna make that happen? How is that possible? How are you gonna manifest that? And I was just like, I'm just gonna make it happen. So I think that the biggest thing I would tell myself is, anyone who's doubting you or doubting the smaller Jasmines or the younger Jasmines coming up, it's their own internal projections onto you. And so you have to look at those projections, and either you fall into it and you believe it, or you're like, nope, actually, you just made me a little bit, you just lit the fire under me. So now I have to show you that I can do it. And
Amen.
that's a difference.
Amen. And on top of that too, you're a perfect example of someone who lets go of the how, because I think that's where a lot of the fear for most people.
Yes.
They do not know how to nail down the how, so then they therefore say, I can't see it, it's not going to happen. But you, and we know as artists, you know, I won't go into my story and make this about me, God bless America, but
I love
the
it.
fact that you let go of the how and you
Yes.
did you on your terms, baby. You are so inspirational, and I want to let our audience know, for more on the incredible JAZMIN AKEA, you can read more about her below this video. Jasmine, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Oh, I love your spirit.
God, I love your spirit. We can talk spirituality some other time too.
I know.
We started talking about past lives, and I'm like,
Yeah.
literally under my breath, I'm like, well, shut your mouth.
I know. Well, you have my email and my info, so let's, like, chat on the side for sure.
We're gonna chat after this, baby.
Okay.